Well, hello everybody, welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000. I'm here with my daughter, Savvy 2002. We're here for our May overnighter. We're out here at the water, we got the boat, got the dogs. Behind me, we're towing our little kayak with our gear. We're gonna have an overnighter. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So right now we're looking for a place to stop and jump in the water. It's what, 92 degrees or something like that? There's a lizard on this wall. I don't know if you can see it off in the distance. And they love chasing the lizards. That looks like some thistle. Right there. Nice little example of thistle. It's pretty cool. Everything's so green right now. And the water levels are a lot higher than they were last year. Last year the water levels were so low. This year the water levels are really nice, really high. It's a beautiful area out here. There's my kayak down there, the boat. Savvy's getting ready to jump in. Time to get in the water. You ready? Yeah. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh.
Cold on.
Ah. Yeah.
Woo. That water is cold. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but right here in the crease there's a lizard standing on the rock right there. Come on guys, get the lizard over here. Get him. Oh, you missed it. You guys aren't very good hunters. You missed it. This is such a beautiful place out here. It's a little bit windy, so my apologies if I get a little wind noise here in a second. There's my daughter. There's the kayak and the boat. Beautiful. And the dogs, they just constantly look for lizards. I don't see none. But they just watch and watch and watch, and they'll do that for a long time. They'll do that all day. See them right there by that crack. That's what they do. They just walk around. It's kind of crazy. How's it feel?
What?
Is it cold?
A little bit.
92 degrees out, so once you get out it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Over here where we live in Arizona, this is our little place that we like to come to because it gets hot here in the summer. It's like 105, 107 in the summer. It's only 92, 93 today. The water feels great.
Great.
Feels great. Look at the dogs. Whoa, look at that. She looks just like Savvy 2002.
Hey.
Hey. That's pretty cool. Looks like a big egg. Let's go get her. Here I come. Be careful. Cool, good deal. Right on, let's get out of here. There's a crack right there, and as a rock climber, I've always thought that that would be kind of cool to climb that crack. I thought that would be really cool. You could see some of these areas have chalk on them, so there are climbers coming out here. Like right there, there's some chalk on the rock. So they're coming out here and bouldering off of these and then falling in the water. Beautiful area to do it. I mean, it's so nice out here. We come out here a lot in the summertime. There's a little piton or something in the rock right there pounded in. Another thing that I'll try to catch some footage of is the birds. These little birds, they make these little mud houses out here, and they're hanging like under an overhang. Like that crack right there, you can see the chalk on it. So climbers are definitely out here climbing. In fact, at the very end of the creek where we're going, there are some roots that are bolted. Okay, right up here under these overhangs, you can see the birds that I was talking about. They make these little mud houses, and they fly up in there. Pretty cool. Check that out. These little houses. Those birds. Kind of cool. I'll try to swing by and get another glimpse of it. I think it's cool. There's a lizard cruising around the side of the rock. The lizards are crazy because they'll walk on the side of the rock. It'll be perfectly up and down, and they'll walk right up that thing. Crazy. And that's what drives the dogs crazy. They love seeing the lizards.
There's some up there too.
Yeah, the birds. Right there, and then there's some up there on that overhang. Kind of crazy. Okay, right up here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it because it's kind of dark, but right up here I turned around because this is one of the rocks that I was talking about right there. You can see that. So boats will run into that. They don't see it, and when the water level is lower, the boats will come up here hauling butt, and they'll nail this rock right here. See that? So that's bad news for a boat. My little boat, it's only a 12-footer, and it's not that low in the water, so I can go over that stuff with no problem. But bigger boats, they're always hitting that, busting their boat up, busting their props, having problems. And there's several of those rocks up here. Okay, right up here in front of us, the water gets a little bit shallow. So I kill the motor and I pull the motor up so the prop's not hanging real low. And the cool thing about having such a small boat is my daughter can pretty much paddle us through. But if the water level's a lot lower, this area is hard to pass. So there's two little areas like this that are shallow. We're almost through this little spot. It's very tight, but again, that's one of the benefits of having a small boat. Any boat bigger than this little 12-foot V is going to have trouble getting through here. This is the second area that's kind of difficult to pass. This one might be a little harder. I might actually have to get out of the boat for this one. There's a lot of tinder and stuff up here. Beautiful. This canyon is so quiet and so peaceful back here. And there's one thing that you got to be aware of when you come back here is there is poison ivy, so you got to be aware of that. But I think we're going to get out and pull through here maybe. We came here the other day. Am I stuck on something? There's some little shells down there. Did that help you out a little bit?
Yeah.
Cool. I think I was stuck on that little rock. Thank you. If you need me to hop out, just let me know. Because I might be too heavy. Yeah, I think I'll hop out. You guys stay in the boat. See some little shells down in there. There's a lot of crawdads in this area, but last time we came we didn't see any. So I don't know if we're going to see any crawdads or not this time. So peaceful back here though. Such a fun place to come to see. You almost through?
Yeah.
Cool. Sure. I'll wait till you hop in and then I'll push this off. Cool. Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. There's a nice little sandy area right there. Kind of cool. There's some tinder. So I'm just trying to get an idea of what kind of resources we have. All these rocks are slick. Very slippery. Kind of cool. Cool thing about this place is the water's not that deep and there's a lot of resources. But right now what we're doing is my daughter went way up ahead on the kayak and she's getting firewood. Not necessarily that we need a fire, but cooking wood more than anything. There's a piece right there. I'll get that on the way back. Just kind of taking a look, seeing where the wood and stuff is. That's all. It's kind of cool. And the water's not too deep. It's about maybe thigh deep or something. It's not too bad. The worst part is everything's slick. The little dog, he gets to swim. There's some more wood right there. So I'm just kind of making mental notes of where resources are. Now, I just found a gold mine here. These leaves right here, this is plantain. This is a wild edible and a wild medicinal plant. This is broadleaf plantain. You can see by the buds right here. This is good stuff. So this is a food source for us to add to our food later. So I'm going to keep that in mind. That's good stuff. There's a lot of it right here. There's a whole patch right there. This is, again, broadleaf plantain. Good stuff. I'm going to use my headlamp today to make fire. I have some bird's nest material here. I have some smalls here, and then I have some fuel there. So I'm going to pull my headlamp out. I have a True Night model TH20. I'm going to use this to make my fire in combination with some 4/0 steel wool that I keep inside of my pouch that I keep my headlamp in. So I'm going to just take a little bit of steel wool, not too much. I don't need a lot, just a little bit. And I'm also going to use the battery out of my headlamp. So the idea is to use the battery to get the ignition to create the ember in this 4/0 steel wool, and then I'll put this into the tinder pile and hopefully we'll have ignition to flame, and then I'll put these smalls on and get everything ready to go. So that's the idea. Hopefully I'll have success with this. Hey, my daughter got me a very nice bird's nest here, so let's go ahead and give it a shot. Before I actually make any kind of ignition here, I want to kind of loosen up the fibers on this steel wool a little bit so that there's less surface area. I'm going to plant this against the bottom here. I'm going to reach up and just spark it. There we go. You see that? That's going to go in. Looks like I need a little bit more. Came up a little short there. It happens. Nothing too crazy. Don't want to get too excited. So I'm just going to get another piece here, do the same exact thing. Open up the surface area. Do the same thing. Ground the bottom. Hit the top for ignition. Get that going. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. Let's put that in there. And voila, we have fire. Now let's put these smalls over here over the top. I'm going to create like a little kind of, almost like a bridge here. Something like that. Put our little smalls on there. And voila, we have fire. I have made fire. My daughter's on a firewood recon right now. So that's where she's at. While I'm in here trying to get flames, she's over there getting more smalls and more stuff. There we go. So this is very nice. Very simple fire to make. He just crashed. You okay? There we go. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm going to put the battery back into my headlamp. We have ignition over here. I would have liked if I could have had a little bit smaller smalls. They would have taken a little bit better. But what I did have was very good. I wish I had a little more pencil-sized stuff. There we go. I'll let that graduate. You can see the flames there. And that's our fire for the night right there. Perfect. It'll just take a little time to graduate up. But that's how we make our fire out here. Very simple. Nothing too crazy. Nothing significant at all. Very easy fire. As the flames pop through the top of the material, I will add a little more fuel. As long as I still have flames popping over the top, I'm okay to continue to add. So that looks great, just like that. There's our fire. Right now I have a pot full of water. I'm just going to set that right on top of the fire. And we're going to start getting this water boiling. I'm going to put some ground beef in there. We're going to make some spaghetti tonight. Just like that. But I don't want the wrapper in there, but I do want the ground beef. I'm going to cook that ground beef. This plastic can go in the fire, so that's what we've got right there. Put that right in the fire. Just get that baby cooking real nice. While we have the ground beef going, I'm going to get my little stove out here. And we'll get this baby fired up. And we will cook our noodles in this stove. So we'll cook the ground beef over the fire. Cool thing about these little stoves like this is they really make things effective as far as using fuel or this wood, you know. They make it very effective, so all we have to do is feed this thing. So I'm gonna pull this off. Let's see, like this piece right here, just kind of lay that in there and hopefully that'll get going. Break that off. All you need is some kind of little flame in there. And this little stove is very, very effective. This thing works good. I use this quite a bit, and it always does a good job. It's a good little stove, and it doesn't take much fuel to get this thing going. So my other camp cook set here, I'm going to take the bowls out. And I don't need the bail, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some water in here, and we're going to get these noodles going. So I'm just dipping the water behind me out of the river and setting that there. Make sure that's locked down. And let's get this a little more stable. Let's see. Maybe right there. Even though that's a little offset, it's not straight, but it's going to work. It's going to work just fine. So we'll get that going. We'll get this going. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, that ground beef is starting to cook up a little bit. And that's all there is to it. We just got to keep the heat going right here. So we're doing a little bit over the fire, and we're doing a little bit over our little stove. So it's perfect. Works really good. This little stove, gosh, I can't stress it enough. This stove, I'm actually going to use the stove for the ground beef right now, because I need to cook this first. I need to really get that ground beef going, and it's really starting to boil, so that's good. That's good. We're going to just continue to put a little fuel in there. This stove is very effective. I like it. I got some mixed veggies. That's just kind of cooking a little bit, nice and slow. I had to put one pot leg in, pot handle leg, so it would fit on there. And then over here, I've got spaghetti with mushrooms and ground beef. So we added a pound of ground beef, and we added a little can of mushrooms. So we're going to eat that pretty soon.
How much do you want, Dad?
Maybe one more good size, just like that, please. Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yours?
Here's your utensils. I'll set them on the lid there.
Thank you.
Thank you. The only thing I forgot to do is I forgot to get my drink.
I just dropped noodles.
That's alright. I'll get my drink here in a minute. Thank you. I'll wash that in the water if you want.
Thank you.
Not too bad. This little stove worked good. How's yours?
That's good.
With a mouthful? They're still looking for lizards. When you come out like this and you can get a real meal, that makes a world of difference in your trip. I mean, it feels so much better.
And the food tastes just that much better sometimes.
Nice hearty chunks of ground beef in there. Look at that. Mushrooms. That's delicious. If you guys could only taste what we're eating, oh, this is really, really tasty. Good stuff. Did you already get crawdads? You already got a crawdad or two?
I saw a couple of good-sized ones like that, but I couldn't catch them. And I was like this close to catching one, and then he went backwards, and I didn't think he could, but he went up the rock and then went over and backwards.
You got out there, huh? I just thought, while I still had daylight, I'd show you where I'm going to sleep tonight. Right there, right on that rock. I'm going to lay my bedroll down right there, and that's going to be my bed for the night. So I'm going to sleep right under this beautiful place right here. And I'm going to have this sound of water all night long. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. So these leaves that my dog is backing into, that's poison ivy right there. So you want to stay clear of that. Leaves of 3, let them be. Leave them be. Poison ivy. Don't want to get into that. So my daughter's off fishing, and I'm just filtering a little more water for drinking. I've already drank about 32 ounces of that Gatorade that I had, so just doing a little more filtering and just enjoying this day. Man, it's beautiful out here. I love coming out to a beautiful place like this and just being out in nature, just enjoying life. This is what it's all about. Time to get some pants on. It's starting to cool down a little bit. Some socks on. Get a little more comfortable. I'm really enjoying this trip a lot. Oh yeah. So much better. Just putting socks on just makes things warmer. I don't expect it to get too cold tonight. If it does, we have plenty of preparation, plenty of gear. I think I heard the kayak, so my daughter must be coming. I guess the question is, I wonder if she'll have fish. She loves fishing. She's very patient, so maybe she'll have had some luck. Here's to hoping, right? Well, right now I'm just in the process of filtering some water. So I've got 1 liter, 2 liter, and I've got the 3rd liter here. The flow rate is still okay, but I figured I would get this water done tonight so that tomorrow we'll have plenty of water to drink. This flow rate is getting kind of slow, but I'm almost done here. This BeFree is a good filter. The flow rate's still decent. I mean, and like I mentioned earlier, I've been using this filter all year. So that's about it. This bag is just a wonderful bag. Gosh, I love this bag. These Hydro Flasks are no joke. I'm like really rough on them, squeeze the crap out of them, and they still work great. So just in this trip alone, you know, there's 3 liters right there, plus I filtered a liter earlier. So that's a total of 4 liters just for this trip, and we might even filter more tomorrow. So far this BeFree is doing good. Well, I've been filtering quite a bit of water, so I'm going to go ahead and swish this thing around, see if it'll help. Maybe it'll improve my flow rates. Who knows? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. That's what they say to do, though. They say to swish it. So we'll see if that works. crawdad hunting. So we see this guy right here. I'm going to try to blind him with the light and hopefully get my hands on him. Okay, let's let the sediment settle. Move this rock. There he is. Now,
oh, geez, poor thing.
How many we got in there? About a dozen, I think.
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing. We've been catching crawdads. So there's a crawdad right there in the brightness of the light. But we have plenty, so I'm not going to catch him. I'm going to let that one go. So there's one, I don't know if you can see, but there's one down there. There's another one down there. I don't know if this light's too bright. But there's two very good sized ones down there. And then there's a fish too. So there's a lot of crawdads, but we already have probably a dozen. So we're going to leave them alone. It's just kind of neat. You know, one thing that I've noticed is these guys, these crawdads, they come out at night. Look at this guy. He's big,
That's huge.
He's a good sized one.
And then there's a fish.
There's a little fish right there too. So there's a fish and a nice... Then there's a little crawdad right there in that crack. They're everywhere. Good food source, very simple, easy to catch, and good for you, this kind of food.
There's one in there.
So there's a tiny baby catfish. Little whiskers and everything. Okay, I decided that I didn't want to eat the crawdads tonight, so I decided to put them in my Stanley pot here. I filled it up with water, and I'm putting the lid on because it has these vent holes, okay, and I want these crawdads for in the morning, maybe for kind of a breakfast kind of thing. So I'm just going to set it right down here in this hole, in this little pocket down here. I think what'll happen is that, for one, they're not going to go anywhere. They'll sit in that little pocket down there. And because of the vent holes that are in the pot, they'll be fresh in the morning. So that's just air that you see coming out of it right now. As soon as that air stops, that pot ain't going nowhere. Even if it moves somewhere, which it's not gonna, but if it did, it ain't gonna go far. This water ain't that deep. So there's our crawdads with the vent holes. They'll be fresh, ready to eat in the morning. There's my kiddo. She's out. Was out until I woke her. Crazy. So that's a look at her bed. Right there. Kind of crazy. There's a look at my bed right there. That's where I'm gonna go to bed tonight. I want to say good night. I hope you guys have a good night. I am so comfortable. The low tonight is supposed to get to around 52 degrees, so it's gonna be beautiful tonight. Temperatures are gonna be awesome. We had such a good time today. This trip has been a lot of fun. Just getting out like this is so nice. I'm not even in my bedroll yet, and I'm just so comfortable. I'm looking up at the sky and I'm seeing all the stars. This is truly what life's about. It's about getting out and living. If you're not getting out, folks, I don't know what you're doing. This is therapy for me. This is my place where I come, I breathe fresh air, I can think clearly. My mind functions at its best when I'm out like this, and if there's anything on my mind, it's like dissipating away from me. It's amazing. So we'll see you guys in the morning. I love you all. Good night. See you tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. Last night was beautiful. I got to lay here and I looked at the stars all night. It was beautiful. I slept well. Got a tiny bit chilly, but not bad. Yeah, I think the low got down to like 52. Got some good rest. This was very comfortable. Maybe have a little breakfast and then get out of here. I had a good time. This has been a great trip. It's been a lot of fun. And man, there's no place I'd rather be. It's just so beautiful getting out like this. I love it. It's awesome that we live in a country, you know, where we have freedom to be able to do stuff like this. It's an amazing thing. Just like in sleepy mode. See? We're starting to move a little bit. So we've got our fire over here, heating up our water. Okay, we've got a rolling boil. It's time to put these babies in, one at a time. Look at him, he's hanging on to his friends. There's those two, and they'll turn red as a lobster. Let's get these guys. Put them in. Let's see. Let's get this big one here. He's a little excited. Hey, buddy. 3. There he goes. They don't last long once you put them in that water. Let's see who else we're gonna get. Alright guys, let's go. How about this big one? So we're gonna have almost a dozen. I think we had a dozen. I can't remember exactly how many we had. I think it's a dozen or so. This one, he's lively. Yep. So we were able to preserve this food. There they go. Into the pot they go. This is our breakfast of champions. This one's kind of lively too. Oops. There we go. We got one more. This is the last one. There he goes. So we'll let those babies cook for a little bit. The cool thing about crawdads is you can't really overcook them, so just let them boil. Okay, looks like these guys are just about done. They've been boiling a while. I've already changed the water. That last water was really kind of yellow colored. Whoops. This guy got hooked. So I'm just going to unload these guys and let them cool down a little bit in this pot, in this little bowl rather. And then we'll break the tails off and have us a little snack. The ones that have the larger claws, like this guy, you can get the meat out of the claws too. It's pretty cool. Some of these guys, like that one, he was dirty. He must have been under rocks or something. Funny how this water is already yellow again, because this is brand new water. We took them out and we got new water, and I brought the water to a boil and then I put them in the new water and it's already yellow. It's crazy. Let's give one of these guys a try. So I'm going to open the tail up and I'm going to break it sideways off the crawdad. I'm going to set this side down. And then right here, if I just pinch this sideways, I can get the meat out of the shell. Just like this. Get a nice little chunk of meat. Just like that. And then all these guts and stuff are easy to remove. That's the benefit of having the boiled water here still. That's just the track. You see that little line right there that comes out? That's the stuff that's their pooper. So I'm going to put it on my spoon. Just kind of wash it in this boiling water. Try to get that junk off of it. Off a little bit. And so what you'll have at the end is a very white piece of meat. It's like I need to clean it just a little more. So it's just like that. That's what we're going to eat. Get a little bit more of that out of there. And there we have it. So that's the part that we'll eat right there. Got a good texture to it. So same thing with this guy. Go sideways. Set the body down. Now that one has big enough claws. We'll definitely be able to eat his claws. Pull this straight through. Sometimes it'll pull right out. There it is. See? That's hollow. And then if you start from the bottom here, just get that junk out. Look at that. That's the piece you want to pull out. Right there. Pull that out. You don't want to eat that black stuff. That's all their poop. Pull that out. Throw it back in the pot. In fact, we could prepare all these and throw them in there if you want. Kind of reminds me of shrimp. See how it's a nice curled up meat? Kind of reminds me of shrimp. If you have some Old Bay spice, you could put it in there. That's good meat. I like that. Good stuff. Just get this stuff off. That's the part. Get all them guts out of there. That is delicious. And that's how I like to eat my crawdads. So here's a claw. See if we have enough meat in there. Yep. Got a nice little chunk of meat right there out of the claw. See that? That's it right there. Good stuff. That claw meat. Delicious. That's all right. Yep. Looks good. There's your spoon if you want to use your spoon. Kind of cleans it up a little bit and gets all that junk off of it. A nice hot piece of meat. Yep. Look at the vultures over there wanting to eat. They're begging. They're professional beggars. Let that come to a boil, and then there's our pickings right there. Some big claws. That's a nice piece of meat there out of that claw. So we cleaned all the meat up and we're just bringing it up to a boil with fresh water, and then once it reaches a good rolling boil, we'll be able to eat it. Looks delicious. Well, folks, looks like we're gonna get out of here. Hope you enjoyed the overnighter for May. It was a lot of fun. The weather was great. It was a lot of fun, huh?
Yeah. Wasn't too cold either.
Wasn't too cold. Got down to about 52. High was like 92. The water was great. Got a little windy. We had a good time. Really want to thank you for stopping by, watching this video. It was a blast. So stay tuned for June. We're going to New Mexico. We'll be probably hanging out with my parents. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to see you there. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I hope you have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.